So many signs, so many ads in newspapers, a tremendous amount of advertisement on television and radio, and so many advertisements flowing over the airwaves on internet. So many things to capture the eye of sometimes well-designed advertisement, well-designed pictures to capture those anywhere sometimes between the age of 10 and 14. And so many designed to capture the eye and the interest of those 18 to 24. And there are so many ads to capture the eye and the interest of those from 35 to 50. There are those to capture the imagination and the eye and the interest, mainly for health, for those from the age of 55 to 80. And who are we to fall into what category? And how easily we can easily tap into our memories and literally remember some of those ads, even at the age of 8 or 9, where they're basically of no interest to us. And how easily we find ourselves so quickly at the age of 35. And most of the ads we really don't pay much attention to. But all those little headlines, all those little letters, all those pictures well designed, hoping to capture you, they're all still in your head. They're all still running around through your nervous system in your memories. It's just that most of us never pay any attention to it. So many pages out of newspapers and magazines. And how easily we can just turn the page, looking for something of interest, something basically new. Sometimes for health, sometimes just for holidays, and sometimes to find a magic pill to eliminate the distractions of our own self. And sometimes we can find ourselves so naive, so young and naive, that we can easily find ourselves purchasing this or that due to the ads. And we find out that we throw everything away anyway. It would be so helpful to all of us if somehow all the things that we have purchased in stores, all the gifts that we have received in our birthdays and Christmas, even the Easter eggs in Easter, and all the shoes and blouses and trousers, and all the socks and underwear too, if all the things that we have bought and been given as presents or just loaned and happen to keep, the combs, even the toothbrushes, and all the hair ribbons, all the scarves, and all the books, even the automobiles that somehow they easily pass by, and all the pictures that we had in our wallets at one time that meant so, so dear to us at one time. And how easily we replace the pictures with somebody else's pictures. Maybe it's a new day, maybe it's a new year, maybe it's a new love. And to have all these items come to us and literally have them all pretending that we have a home, that we have a large front yard and a very large backyard. A tremendous amount of very, very beautiful Kentucky bluegrass, very thick, very soft to sit on and to lie our backs on and to look up into the sky. And all these items are all there in the backyard. A big pile, a big heap, a little hill of everything that has been given to us. Some of the things that we have stolen too. All the things that we have purchased. All these things that have literally passed through our hands and our lives. And even all the girlfriends and boyfriends and all the lovers too are all in the backyard too. And to see this, and to walk out that back door and to literally observe and to look at it and to see it. And those are dear friends that have passed away too. And they too are also in the backyard. Quite invisible, but yet you can still see them. A little hill, no doubt, almost a mountain. And all the little things. And all the money that it took to purchase so many of these things. And the little tiny, very precious boxes that we put our very precious things in it. That we may be buried in the backyard, we put it someplace in the house, and somehow the memory eluded us and we could never find it. And now there it is, lying on the grass in the backyard. And those hands of yours have touched everything. Those fingers of yours have literally touched all of that. The cheeks of all your friends and boyfriends and girlfriends. Even if you have had children and they have passed away, there they are too. All the couches and chairs and kitchen tables, the spoons and forks too. And the beautiful plates that we have been given, maybe by the grandma. And why is it always the grandma that gives the things away? And to literally see and observe all of this. And to look at your hands and turn your hands over and to literally see all that you have touched in your given lifetime. How rich your life basically is. So rich it is. And what has literally caused this mountain, this little tiny mountain, or you call it maybe a hill, to be a hill, full of so many things and people. So many memories back there. And so many little things refreshing so much of your memories that somehow you could never touch or capture before. And there it is. And all this is because of the economy and the time that you were conceived and born. If you can only imagine the countless hundreds and millions of people going back 300 years, 500 years, going back 1,100 years. And to imagine what would be in their backyard. Would it be a mountain like yours? Would it be a little hill of yours? No, it would not. Not at all. it would be very, 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 very few items. And girlfriends and boyfriends and lovers too. Very few. Very, very few. And yet these people, they lived their whole lives out. And they also had happiness and joyful days. They also had depressions. There was still violence like there is today. You don't see all the school objects of papers and pens and papers there like yours. When you were in first grade and fifth grade and all the things you went through. For in the past, most of the people on the planet, in their backyard, very few items. And one wonders, then why aren't the people, why are not they, that their eyes are not wide open? And why is it that their hearts are not wide open too? Why is there still depression and sadness? Why is there still so many people fighting with themselves and others? So many stores to buy things from. We have fuel literally taken out of the earth and transported thousands and thousands of kilometers. Very slowly, these big ocean liners are taking these beautiful, beautiful things out of the earth, giving us more speed to reach our destination in trains and automobiles. And books that were published on other continents, and within a month or two, we find them in your bookstore, in your island, on your continent, in your village. And yet humanity has not changed one bit. The happiness factor has not gone up 1 centimeter. The joy meter has not gone up 1 millimeter. And the struggles and strains are all the same. And here, this mountain, this heap, so many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of things have passed through your hands. Beautiful shoes. You can remember all the beautiful shoes that you have bought, and the stockings too. And so proud sometimes of the shirts and blouses. And they all brought a little light to our eyes. But there's nothing that we could hold on to, we found out. We cannot hold on to any item. We cannot hold on to any human being. No husband, no wife, no son, no daughter either. They grow up too fast and they want to leave the nest, just like what we did. And here we are. We could be sleeping side by side for so many decades. And yet we already find ourselves drifting apart with age. And the age is taking us in one direction. And the experiences of the days and the weeks and the months and the years and the dreams are taking us someplace else. The mind, the mentality, the IQs, the definitions of words and the new words that have been introduced into our vocabulary of the given day, and how we have found out about every 10 years how the younger generation, they brings on a different view of how to look at life. And no doubt they seem to be much smarter than the generations of ago. And yet in time we find out what is so, so, so valuable, what is so important, very difficult to tap, to reach, and that is the wisdom. The wisdom that we know that is out there. The wisdom that we know is really in our own bones. No book can teach us wisdom. And not even the words of another human being. It is the frustration and sweat. It is the friction between a match and a stone, between left brain and right brain, between of what we fear and what we love, between what we have kissed and what we have walked away from. It is this friction, it is this continuous frustration that seems to come and go outside our will, outside our knowingness, and what to do with it. The wisdom of all the ages, they lie in your bones. Just that no mother or father teaches us how to draw it out. They teach us arithmetic and how to read books. But no one teaches us really how to make a friend or how to keep a friend. We have to learn that ourselves. They teach us how to dress and the complexity of what it is to tie our shoes with shoelaces. They teach us how to behave and hold the forks and knives. And they hope, no doubt, the ones that love their kids. And they hope, no doubt, the ones that care, that somewhere along the line in their lives, in their little tiny, very fragile little lives, that wisdom comes out. Maybe it is a kiss. Maybe it's an incident somewhere along the line. But usually what taps at that door, usually what opens up that door, is a stranger. It is a land outside the territory of where they were born. Our parents teach us to look outside of these eyes. And outside these eyes, away from our bodies, it's just an environment. That's all it is. It's a beautiful, beautiful environment. But they never taught us what is this internal environment. They teach us to brush our teeth. Be careful what you say. But this beautiful, beautiful environment, this internal environment of ours, it is just not made of just all kinds of liquids and skins and strange manufacturing plants of organs. There's something very, very beautiful inside. But it does not reside in this dimension of ours. It resides inside. No bullet can kill. No time can wither it away like age does to us. And there are times we have all, somewhere along the line, sometimes when we were very, very little, and sometimes it hit us, a little reflection bouncing off some window pane, off some glass of some car driving, that there's another place and another time that resides in this internal environment inside this body of ours. And that is your heart. This heart does not belong to Christmas, not even your birthdays. That has to do with the economy and the external environment. This heart is of the earth. This heart is beneath your feet, and you have been walking on it. You have been crawling on it too. You have literally been perpendicular sleeping on it. You have been swimming in it too. It is the atmosphere where we receive our oxygen that keeps us abound in life, allows us to ski down mountains, even to surf, that allows us to build homes and go to parties at night. And there's another environment, a very great, beautiful ocean, and that is the outer space. These beautiful seas, these great oceans, how it took so much time to put itself together, not thinking of the seconds and minutes or hours too. Not even the clashes of moons or the implosions of sun that takes place. And the great, great activator, the great cause, is the silence itself. For it is within the silence of our own self where we can find this heart of ours. And we see the results in the birds flying above our heads, creating shadows on the earth. Little letters, I would say. And there are the winds that literally blow our hair about, gently touching and caressing our cheeks and foreheads too. It is the silence that have literally put all the waters together. And so much time was devoted to that. And yet the oceans, the seven seas, so small they really are, when we find ourselves giving ourselves a little more leeway, using these beautiful eyes of ours to be telescopes and microscopes, and not just to see the faces of the people on the streets. What we seek inside, and most are confused by what is so temporary and what is so immediate in front of them. Is that what we really seek inside? is what is permanent. And when you walk out that back door and you look at that little hill, and for some of us it's a little mountain, and to think of all the grandmas and grandpas and young men, and to think of all the young women who had very, very little things. No stores existed back then. No windows too. There was really no shopping to be done. Very few things in their backyard. And when you look at all of that, what the economy has literally given to us, but it has made us not any happier at all. The little books, the very tender little books that we found ourselves so touched by, little fables, books of wisdom, very simple words. Most children, they knew but did not have the vocabulary, for it was so natural to them. There was no reason to speak of it, for that was eternity. And out of the countless hundreds and millions of people that spent their time surviving, looking for the foods to eat to keep their bellies full, there were a few, only a few, who devoted their lives. For something was in them, a passion was in them. Not only to see what is the star like about, and what's up there above our heads. It is in between the stars twinkling away, and yet is the amass of stars. And somehow, like giving a Morse code, speaking to our minds and hearts, and the astronomer and looks down and wonders about the animals and plants and valleys, about the running waters, and all these little twinkling stars have been speaking to this planet for so long. And all it took was one person to walk away from survival, to walk away from what everybody else is doing. A Marco Polo, you could say, no doubt. But a Marco Polo that started to use the beautiful biological eyes. And this internal environment, something kicked in. But how countless is basically the numbers, but countless numbers of people. Only one or two had the passion to see what is above their heads and not just what's in front of them. What is above and what is below. What is above and what is below is what put you together, biological cell by biological cell. You can call it whatever you wish, mother, father, or just a beautiful, beautiful sky and the land that keeps you hugging you. Gravity is doing that. Caressing you so gently. Doesn't want you to jump too far, too high up, where you'll find yourself in outer space. To keep you on the ground long enough. To keep you on this beautiful, beautiful ground long enough. Hoping that the Marco Polo comes out of you. To literally see what is much more than what is in front of you. For that is really what the little books are about. That is what those that seek, not just to release the bondage of depression, and not just to release the hands literally tied up by rope or string and sometimes thread of loneliness. And that is to evaporate so much doubt and confusion that we can easily acquire. Because there's so many little tidbits of advertising trying to capture us to buy this and to buy that and buy this and buy that. Hoping maybe that little shiny thing will make me a little bit happier. And yet our parents never taught us that once you find yourself in your second lifetime, born through the womb of your mother, you basically have everything that you need. We're swimming in an environment of this upper atmosphere. We have all the air we need. We have a planet to walk on, to even dance. We can even swim in the lakes and rivers too. And there's so many different colors of food, so many different shapes and designs to keep our bellies full. And the waters, not only from deep down underneath, but the waters, the little droplets. It's almost like the sky is crying. And all the little tears falling down on us. And then we discovered ourselves. Our bodies consisting of more than 70% of waters. Where we are water standing up. We are lightning, not only with our voices of screaming or singing, but everything that we touch, the impulses, immediately runs up, our very gentle little fingers up our arms. Even when we touch the earth, even though we have shoes and socks on, the impulses are literally racing up at great speeds, right into our backbone, our spinal cord. And this great river, a great, great river like the Amazon, vast amounts of information and impulses, we call them, touching the brain, communicating with the brain, giving us a greater sense of what this external environment is all about. But so many they stop going to school. So many stop going to school. Once they finish high school or university, they think it's over. And yet, no matter what continent or village you were born in, or what century, do not let the Marco Polo in you fade away. The eyes love adventure. They love new faces, new sights, new songs and lyrics too. As it is for your hands and everything you touch. Touch it all, and touch it all always anew. And no matter how many times you pick up that same pencil, it's always new, always new. So what I am saying to you, those that have literally walked the earth 1,100 years ago today, even 5,000, in their backyard, very, very little things and items, and lovers too, and friends. And yet the beauty of touching it all, because it meant more to them. You see, the Marco Polo resides in you. Never, never stop learning. But look into your backyard, and you will see eventually that all that never really brought you happiness, only short term, but it gets all thrown away. And joy that seems to come and go like the winds, how peaceful it is and quiet, like a calm day, a windless day. And that resides in a totally different dimension inside your heart. It is in the calm that you will know your strength. In all the things, the trees, so many cars parked along the side of the road, so many different colors, so many different little shops, and so many items in them, is only the result of the beauty of our hearts. So go back to your flats and go look at all the items that you have purchased and been given. Everything, everything. Even your hangers in your closet. But it's only you in your own heart. It is only you in your own heart. That you can bring peace, not only to the seconds and minutes, but to literally bring peace to everything that you have purchased in the backyard, and everything will make sense to you then. Because once you understand it, life makes perfect reason. Perfect reason. Our mind loves reason and common sense. Our mind, it just loves evidence. But we have been taught to hide the evidence. We've been taught that the evidence isn't that, it's this, causing confusion. So it isn't confusion and doubt that is your problem. It's not what's in the backyard. You've been given all that you need. We just got confused with all the stuff in the backyard. The evidence, the earth, the wind, the waters, the food. Everything else are just presents, just Christmas presents, like everything in the backyard. Once your mind understands that, once your mind realizes that, all the knots let go. Let's take a